Elon Musk wants to make games great again. So his view is that a lot of the game studios, in an article recently, he's been saying that a lot of the top game studios are owned by giant corporations, these massive companies, and he wants to make games great again. And there's no real like small companies making great games. So his AI XAI studio, should we say, is going to start creating games. So Elon's obviously an enormous gamer. I saw a little interview that he did this week. He was he was walking and talking with Donald Trump's granddaughter, the golfer Kai Trump, and someone asked him, "Oh, do you play League of Legends?" And his words were, "The space program would the space program would go down if I played that game," which is quite funny. But he's obviously a massive, massive gamer. He's in the top 10. Was he top 10 globally for what was that
Diablo
game?
4.
Diablo 4. That
Yeah,
was
we
it.
spoke about it on the podcast. I think it was last week or the week before,
Yeah,
and where he's ranked. And yeah, massive gamer.
yeah.
I think that's
So
what actually stemmed from being able. That's what like Twitter and started allowing live streaming, because I think that he was the pioneer behind like
yeah,
wanting to stream his Diablo play, and like he was the real live tester
yeah,
for
yeah.
for that technology on the platform.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what his XAI company does in terms of from a game studio's perspective, because obviously he's a big gamer, so I would like to think he's going to have a fairly big hand in whatever they do produce. But
Mm.
then the cynical me looks at it and goes, "How's he going to do the Boring Company, SpaceX, Tesla, the game studio, Department of Government Efficiency, Starlink?" and
Delegation.
be a dad at the same time. You're like, and game. It's like, where does this man have time? But yeah, he has to delegate. But he obviously does it. Oh, and X and
Mm.
sorry, Twitter as well. Completely forgot about that. But no, I'll be very excited to see what he does, because obviously massive gamer. He's got all the money in the world, and at the moment everything he's touching is turning to gold, as it
Mm.
would be. So yeah, very very excited to see what he does there.
There is one thing that I find quite funny, and that is Elon Musk saying that the games are all run by big corporations. But
Yeah,
Elon Musk owns some of the biggest corporations.
yeah,
So if he's getting into it, it does feel very much a uh, pot calling the kettle black
I suppose.
scenario.
But then at the same time, a lot of the corporations that he's talking about are IPO'd companies, aren't they? Whereas his is technically private company, isn't it? Um,
Yeah.
so slightly different tact as it would be. But I do get your point. But like, how many of the big corporations do you see? Like Microsoft, how many game studios do they own? Where the game studio is run by someone who's an avid gamer and is like the face of the game studio, as it would be. Now, whether Elon's going to be the face of the game studio, I doubt it. But he probably would be, because he utilizes X or Twitter very very well to be the front of all the companies that
Mm.
he's doing, and he does a very very good job of that. He's got the most followers on the platform. He's got like 220 odd million
Mm.
on X. He's very vocal. I mean, I follow him and I have notifications on for all of his tweets. Oh my days, that man tweets a lot. Um, so yeah, he does a very good job of it. Does a very good job of it. So I'll be very interested to see how that works out.
Yeah, I mean, the really interesting thing I think on that as well would be is if they went down a slightly different route. Because you're right, you look at Microsoft; they own so many games development studios, and now they ended up buying a lot of them so that they could facilitate bringing those games
Yeah,
onto
yeah,
Xbox Games Pass. But PlayStation own a lot of these dev studios, well, and ultimately PlayStation being like the publisher. But but the problem you have is that the smaller indie dev studios that end up partnering or end up being brought by these big companies is that they have to adhere to their timelines, their monetization rules, etc. The really
Oh,
interesting, and that's what I really hate. I hate, like, if you look at what happened with PlayStation and Concord, the
Kong,
game,
yeah,
yeah, or if you there are other instances of developers who have said this game is not ready to go out, but like because it's been promised in a quarterly release schedule by Microsoft, which is beholden to shareholders, and they've said it's going out, so you can fix it post live, because that's the mantra almost every game now, is that ship it at its ship date, we'll fix it post live, because every game is live updated and patched now later on
yeah,
down the line. It'd be really cool to see if Elon Musk went to go down the game studio route, would say, actually, you're like, the game will release
when
when
it's ready.
it's ready, when you're ready. Um, we will only subsidize your costs when you deliver a finished product.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
and like
and
it's not
maybe
like
go
he's going to be
down that
short.
route.
He's not going to be short of money, is he? So he's not going to be fussed on time, is he? He's going to be going right. He'll have a team. He'll obviously delegate it, as we
Mm.
said, and he'll be like, right, what sort of game are we going to create? How long is that going to take? How many devs do we need? What's the time frame? What's it going to look like? What's it going to run on? Is it going to be a PC only? Is it going to be multi-platform, etc.? Have we got a release date? No, but this is what it's going to be.